But yes, this is one of my favorite areas. God, the queue continues outside. And something that definitely needs calling out, look at this in the background. Well, hello guys, welcome to another episode and me taking you around some of my favorite areas in London in all the years that I have lived here, showing you some of my favorite shops, restaurants, a little bit of fashion, and yeah, a bit of a locals viewpoint. And I am outside St Pancras. Look at this beautiful Gothic-inspired architecture from the Victorian times, which you can live in those top floors, guys, if you've got a few quid. And it's actually a gorgeous hotel, the Renaissance Hotel. I feel like I need to film this in 0.5, but yes, it used to be called the Midland Hotel back in the day, but it got redone a number of years ago, and we're gonna head on inside in a minute. And if you're new to my channel, hello, I'm Hannah. I live in London, and I like all things fashion, food, and walking around the city. So that's what this channel has kind of become in the recent couple of months. But yes, do subscribe if you want to see more. I have to mention Harry Potter's own eye. Anyone recognize this? I'm sure you do. And we have a little telephone box there, which definitely would make for a good Instagram shot with that in the background, wouldn't it? But look at that beautiful red brick. Oh, anyone recognize that there is, or not recognize that there's not the fancy brightly coloured, I think it's pink. There's usually a fancy sports car there. But yes, you can walk in here. It's absolutely stunning. And this was the railway that was built in 1873. I'm trying to hide behind this pillar because it keeps blowing. I might have to tie my hair up in a minute. But yes, I'm going to take you inside because there's a very, very famous music video, pop video, that I personally was obsessed with in my younger years. Ronald Weasley, how dare you steal that car? So with all hotels in London, you can come in and have a look. They also have some nice restaurants and afternoon tea. Let's have a quick look. I'm gonna have to film a lot of this in 0.5 just to get the full room in. Look at this lovely lobby, and yes, you can get a little bit of afternoon tea in here as well. And there's another spot I'm gonna show you. I just like the entrance. Look at this. Could you imagine living in this building? Yes, the apartments, I remember when they went up for sale, millions and millions. But we're gonna go through this little corridor down here. I don't know, the kids of the 90s, are you gonna recognize what music video was shot here? Are you ready for the reveal? I'll give you a hint. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Yes, this is where the Spice Girls wannabe video. Quite a few of the corridors with views. Do you remember when they're like running down the steps and stuff? But this is where it was filmed. I'm not going to do the dance, but which Spice Girl would you be? I feel like I'm in some kind of Disney castle, but I'm going to have to hold on to the handrail as I point my camera up. Look at this. Oh my gosh, all the way up. Makes my legs go funny. It really does feel like a fairy tale in here. Oh, okay, right. As I pan down, let's head on into the main part of the station. And just across there is King's Cross, but hold fire, we will go there momentarily because we're just going to go into the station entrance of St Pancras. And if you're wondering, it's about £250 a night to stay in the hotel. Why? Because I think it's really nice and it gives holiday vibes because you can see the trains for the Eurostar and there's a couple of nice places to grab a drink. I feel like I've actually been to all of these, so yes, you can grab yourself a beer, a drink, whatever you fancy, and some food. But look at this stunning ceiling. I'm gonna have to, yeah, again, film this in 0.5, my goodness me. It is so nice, and it's nice that it's nice and sunny outside. So this whole terminal, this whole building was completely changed and transformed because in 2001 they started to work on the tunnel across into the rest of Europe. So yes, you've probably, maybe if you watch this, you've been on the Eurostar, and it, yeah, completely redid all of this, renovated it, and it looks absolutely stunning. I like the kind of mixture of the Gothic with the metal modern. But yes, this whole area, like King's Cross, St Pancras, was a bit of a dive through all of, I'd say, most of the 1800s, a lot of the 1900s, up until the early 2000s. And I'm going to show you the like completely renovated, rejuvenated area, which I personally like to go to. And I feel like not many tourists know about. And a train has just pulled in, literally. Oh, I wonder where they've been. You have got Circe's, I always feel like I say it wrong, but they had a bit of a renovation a while ago, so you can get these little curved booths. You can have champagne, you can press for champagne, you can have afternoon tea. I can show you it, there we go, press for champagne. It's a bit of a gimmick, but I absolutely love it. Really, really nice place to go. On the lower ground, just so you know, obviously there's tons and tons of shopping. It is busy. Look at that queue getting into the Eurostar down there. No, thank you. Oh gosh, is it 12:30 already? I've been properly faffing today, but that is a beautiful sight when you come off of the Eurostar, that curved window. Oh, this bar is so cute. So yes, it's a champagne bar. You can get little nibbles. I know what you guys are like. How much is it? How much is it? What have we got? 15 quid for a smaller glass of Brut. Very nice. You can go English sparkling. I mean, you can read. So it is probably about £3 or £4 more than most places, but it's because of the setting. And it's good to see that they do have some non-alcoholic as well. Don't know why I said it's so high-pitched, but there are some cocktails. There's loads of pages actually, but I usually try to show you a beer, and I think £6.50 is actually quite reasonable. Plates as well, let's just scoot straight into these. So you can get some nibbles, have a brunch, or maybe champagne, and a little fruit platter or something. Oh no, stuff that, get the cheese. As I walk out, look at the contrast in the architecture there. My gosh, some of you might recognise that from the hotel that has the red lift, is it blue then, that goes up the side. And now we're outside the iconic building, the iconic station that is King's Cross. It is busy, busy. And let me tell you something. Why is it called King's Cross? This might help you in a pub quiz one day. But yes, there was a statue at a crossroads outside the front of this kind of building area of, I think it was King George IV. People were not happy with the king, and eventually it got pulled down, and the name just kind of stuck as King's Cross, so a bit of a rubbish reason, but hey, it has stayed for many, many years. But please do not judge London on this area. It's a little bit of a crappy area still, but I'm going to show you around the corner, which is so nice. Oh, look at this weather. I hope it doesn't rain. So the whole of King's Cross and St Pancras, like I said, it was a bit of a dive, and it wasn't until it was started to get properly regenerated and have a purpose. The 1850-ish was when this all got built for Great Northern Railway, I believe it was. And oh God, I get everyone running for their trains. And then they redid it a number of years ago. It's had a nice little spruce. Look at that brickwork. But yes, 2007, it got a whole, I remember when this got open, a whole rework. Look at this amazing ceiling. Look at that structure. My gosh. Oh my days, if you do want to see the display, this is so funny. Years ago, this was empty. It is quite the queue, so yeah, you can queue, it's free to get a photo, and they have some lovely stuff and some props. Really fun thing to do. So many years ago, and I know I always say this, but hey, this is my personal tour, right guys? You'll get some Ricketts family comments in this. When I was at uni, I used to live up in Camden. Have I uploaded my Camden video? That might have been last week's, depending on the editing and whether this goes up first. But I used to live in a place called Mornington Crescent, which is a stone's throw from here. And then I used to meet my friends in my first year of uni at King's Cross, which was a little bit dangerous, not gonna lie. And I used to walk past 9 3/4. Yeah, there is a big queue to get in the store as well. I would guess that is about a 45-minute queue, by the way. So if you're coming, factor that in. Oh my God, the queue continues outside. That's got to be at least an hour and a half. I am flabbergasted. I wish I'd taken more photos when I was at uni. I don't think I had a digital camera because it was like the olden days. No, I did. I probably would have like uploaded it to Facebook. But anyway, if you're coming, factor 2 hours in if you want a photo by the wall, or go to the Warner Brothers Harry Potter studio tours, which is fantastic. It's so fripping good, guys. Nearly swore there. It's so good in Watford. It's a little bit outside of London. It's amazing. I always feel rude vlogging with my sunglasses on, but honestly, it's so bright. But yeah, I wanted to stop for a second and just tell you a little bit more about this area so there's a bit more context. So I wanted to show you this whole area, the north side of St Pancras and the King's Cross station, which is literally there, because no one really, I say no one, there's a lot of people. I think a lot of tourists don't know about this area, and I keep watching people's vlogs, especially when they're into like Disneyland Paris, and they don't come to this area and they have time to kill and they're like walking around the dodgy part of King's Cross, and I'm like, no, please just go 2 seconds around the corner. It's beautiful. There's the canal, which I'll show you momentarily. So yeah, 1700s, proper manky, bit of a dive, really dangerous. 1800s, this became, had a purpose because of the Industrial Revolution. So a lot of coal came from the north of England on the canals. Regent's Canal was built, which is a huge change to this area. Can you hear that swing in the background? God, they need a bit of WD-40. It was basically the Second World War when you look into it. That's when things went a bit south because the canals weren't needed anymore and trains were needed. So a lot of King's Cross obviously got developed, the train station expanded, King's Cross became what it is today with St Pancras, and it was basically just left. This whole wasteland area in the back, which I'm about to show you, was left for a very long time, so we'll get to it, but it looks beautiful, so stay tuned. I mean, there's a hint of the, the regeneration, but you have this beautiful building, which I'm sure some of you have maybe seen before, called the German Gymnasium, and it was literally that. It was a gymnasium for Germans, and because of the First World War, majority of the Germans kind of got kicked out of the UK, so it was abandoned for a really long time, and it wasn't redeveloped until, yeah, not that many years ago, but it's really nice inside. Is that the new a Google building? I think it might be. I know you want to see prices. It's known basically for sausages because it's kind of got like a German spin on the food. There's no drinks menu out here, but I think it's kind of reasonable. It's obviously just an expensive hot dog in a way. But yeah, really nice. And especially if you're sat on your own as well. What have we got? Patisseries. Get yourself a glass of wine and a cake. Very nice. Just having a quick look inside. Do you see what I mean? It's pretty cool. So they've kept all the ceilings. It's obviously been redone. There's a bar upstairs and it's a really nice casual setting. It's okay for kids as well. Oh God, is it going to rain? It said it was going to be a storm, but not till like 5 o'clock. I feel like I should be paid to promote all of these, but Vinoteca, there is so much to eat and drink around here, whether you've got kids, whether you've got a big budget, a slightly smaller budget, Granger & Co, that's quite expensive, but does nice brunch, it's a bit quiet. Doggies, dog friendly, all around here, but there is this whole area, which I really, really like. If you've got time to kill from the station, maybe you've missed your train, you've got a Leon behind there, tortilla, wasabi, normal kind of takeaway bits, beautiful water feature all the way up here, loads of seating. I'd quite like to work here. It's a shame my office is on here. Pizza, beer, sushi, Drake & Morgan, which is really nice. Bao buns, cocktail bar. I haven't shown them all, but there's loads of coffee places. That building is mildly terrifying though. That weather is turning, which brings us to, look at this, Industrial Revolution coming through here to Granary Square and Coles Drop Yard, which is what I wanted to show you guys. All that cloud is looking a bit ominous in the background. And by the canal, I think they're watching Wimbledon on a Sunday. Free entertainment. And I'm gonna go and show you that building over there in a second. But yes, this is one of my favorite areas. It's a really good place to meet your friends. Oh, look at it. And multiple ice cream vans. Literally, there's 2 within 50 yards.
2 weeks of tennis and 128 men started out here with dreams of holding that trophy aloft at the end of it.
Okay, so where on earth are we? I started the vlog down here. We went into that hotel, scooted across, went into King's Cross, saw the 10-hour queue for platform 9 3/4, walked across here, and then I have gone up here. Oh, my phone, my arm can follow. I'm here. So we have this whole section. I'm not going to do all of it, but just show you some of the key buildings and the shopping areas. And everyone is sat here, watching the TV on this other side. So yes, and Regent's Canal, if I followed that all the way down, I would get home. I might walk home actually, depending on the weather. But it is busy and I love it. But this building in the background, let me tell you about it. But I don't want to miss these buildings very quickly. Look at this stunning building. Oh, it's so Industrial Revolution, isn't it? And then it's been transformed down there into a swanky bar, typical London. There's loads of shops. So yeah, so you've got all of these fountains that you can play in. This is Granary Square and Granary Building, and it's got some cool history. So this building back in the 1850s was where they kept a lot of wheat. They collected off the trains and also transported it back onto the trains as well. And it was for all the bakers in London, hence the name Granary. So Granary Square, Granary House building, and now it is a university. Quite an interesting building, and they've obviously kept a lot of the features. No doubt it is grade 2 listed. And I quite like the modern take on it. Very nice. Trying to get a shot without kids running through it, but yes, that is quite tempting on a hot day. And then you have somewhere like the Lighthouse, which is a new modern building. It's a pretty nice restaurant. I've been there quite a few times actually, but then you still have all of the old buildings and all the old features from the Industrial Revolution. And something that definitely needs calling out, look at this in the background. You can see that gas structure that has been converted into flats. There is a few of them, and that is what this area was known for. It had a big gas industry. When that all went to pop, yeah, this whole area, this was like disgusting. This was like a proper wasteland with old buildings for probably close to like 80 years. And then the rejuvenation of King's Cross happened, and now it's pretty good. I like it. But yes, you can see down there, ooh, people are watching the tennis. I don't mind tennis, so I'm not too bothered, but yes, I am missing, I think it's the final today, but we've got some canal boats along Regent's Canal. So like I said, this was purpose-built and used during the Industrial Revolution, and the contrast is really interesting. So look at this gas station over there. That is I think that's a little bar up there, and there is actually a grade 2 listed one of these frames that we'll get to hopefully in this tour. It is crazy to think that gasworks and coal transportation was the main industry in this area. Now it is really a very kind of fun area for people to come and enjoy. And along here, one of the main boats is actually this little bookshop. This is very much like the area that I live in actually, a Little Venice. I'm sure you may have maybe seen my vlogs before, but what a contrast day between those three things. And if you're into canals, we do have the London Canal Museum. I've never been. It's a little, just a stone's throw from here. I'm not going to have time to show you, but apparently that's a really good place to go. And you can walk all the way through, all the way to Limehouse. Goodness me, that is a very long way. I should get up on a Sunday morning and do that. But yes, you have got the university that I just showed you, Granary Square. And I'm going to show you a little bit more of Coal Drops Yards. I always wanted to call it Coal Yards Drops. I mean, it doesn't roll off the tongue for me. And then we will end up at the Gasholder Park where those gasworks were. So this whole area was for the gasworks. And then when the train services became a lot more prominent at the end of the Industrial Revolution and World War times, when everyone needed everything by trains because the transport links had been so improved. But anyway, stop waffling, Hannah. Let's show the next bit. Not sure if I explained that very well. So yes, once the Second World War was over, the train links, I think in a lot of countries, were absolutely fantastic compared to what they used to be. So this whole area wasn't really needed when it came to the canals. Like everything just went on trains, which is why obviously the train stations became a lot more of an important part of transport because this area's been done up so nicely. Of course there's a Waitrose, isn't there? And a food market. Let's have a look. Now, you are not going to starve here. You might just go broke. This is one of those places that has, honestly, every type of food imaginable. And I actually prefer this area to Camden in that respect. But yeah, this is here all the time. Oh my gosh. Busy, busy. What have we got? Tacos, Japanese fried rice, chai tea, oysters, churros, duck, burgers, rice, oh my gosh, and sangria. And I feel like I should recommend Dishoom to you guys. It is a very popular one, always a queue, but they have amazing food at reasonable prices. Oh, Samsung, they must have a fancy shop. But yes, all the stalls around here, I find it a really weird contrast. I mean, I love seeing all of these details. Look at this with the old, I don't know, things for winches, I don't know. But you've got so many little market stalls. These are here, I'd say most of the week actually. Get yourself a fancy coffee, a cake, go for a wander. There are public toilets as well. But yes, a good mooch around. But I always love these trees. I think these are really cool. Get yourself a little picnic or whatever, sit under there. But yes, that was that beautiful building that we saw at the beginning. And you can see Dixon is flashing. Can you see that in the window? Tom Dixon, a very expensive lighting company. It's all very bougie stores around here. Oh, look at that grilled cheese. That looks good. But I'm gonna refrain because I keep eating out a bit too much at the moment. Hence my face, so my giant spot on my face, which I'm gonna try and leave. But yeah, anytime I eat loads of junk food, even just for one day, I'm like, junk. Never mind. And I do want to say the fact that this guy is cleaning the floor really shows, and I've noticed this in recent years, there's certain areas of London that the councils will spend the money on, and then there are other areas that they don't, and it's not really very fair, is it, on some areas. But yes, it is very clean and tidy around here. And as it says, welcome to Coal Drops Yard. This is one of the buildings, and this was literally where they dropped the coal off. And there are two massive buildings that have been redeveloped, so you can see a lot of it is changed into shops. And it's very bougie around here now. It's quite the difference to what it was. A lot of these shops, I can't really afford, they're kind of expensive. But hey, if you want to walk around with a coffee and a cake, much cheaper. It reminds me a little bit of Battersea Power Station, where that's obviously being redeveloped and that's beautiful. But it's all really expensive shops, so it'll be interesting to see in time. I mean, it has been here for quite a few years now, but whether these stores do particularly well or not, I'm not sure. That is one of the buildings, and then look at that. That is absolutely insane. And then the second building up there on the left. So those were the two buildings where, yeah, the trains and some of the boats would have dropped off coal back in the day. Wow, this is a popular one, and it smells amazing. Let's have a quick look at the menu. Quick scoot. Oh, it feels very tropical. I love it. But yes, I do love, look, it's just everywhere. I love all the architecture. Right, oh, tacos, yes. Here we go, a little bit of a snapshot. I'll show you the tacos. Pretty standard London prices actually, to be honest. Oh no, it's just started raining. But what I wanted to show you, look at these. This is so weird, I find. But as I said, this area was really, really dependent. And a huge part of the land was used for gas works. And look at this, it's all been completely converted. Called Gasholders London. I think I called them gas frames, that was the wrong thing to call. But yes, there were a number of them in this whole area up here. Quite a lot of the area, I understand, was used for the gas works. But yes, a couple of them have been converted with apartments in, which is so weird. This is such a typical kind of changed London area with all the modern buildings and a little bit of outdoor fun as well. Also, can you do me a favour? Can you give this video a thumbs up when you have a second? I would really appreciate it because it's starting to rain and it's really windy. And this part I'm doing for you guys. Oh, I love making these videos, don't get me wrong. I'm hoping it's not too windy with my old microphone there. It's good, it gets me out of the house because today I was so tired. Like I said, I was with my family all of yesterday, which was amazing. But I'm a bit worn out today, but good to get the steps in. Oh my God, look at this. This is bougie. Oh my days. Okay, if there are any for sale, I will put them up on the screen now. It's actually quite a small footprint in a way. Imagine what the service charge is living in a building like that. Mine's enough, and I don't live in a converted gas holder. So there you go, look at that gas holder. It is grade 2 listed, and I understand reading about it, it was taken down piece by piece and re-erected piece by piece, fully restored, and it has a park in the middle now. It's weird because everything, like if the pathway, everything's so pristine and clean, and then you have, yeah, the history that's been repainted and polished and made all pretty, and then you've got, look at this mirror, oh wow, it goes all the way around. Might need to stand under here when it starts chucking it down. But you have this cute little garden, and in the backdrop, I wonder if you can see this. If you come out of St Pancras, you have got the train line as well. So keep your eyes peeled. Oh, did he catch his hat? As the trains leave St Pancras station. I feel like no one really talks about King's Cross, and I don't know why, because it really is cool. We're gonna have a go look at that lock in a second. Oh, it's windy. Oh, those boats look so cute lined up, don't they? Oh yeah, the train does come in. Let me know, have you ever peered out the window and seen any of this? But yes, you have got St Pancras Lock. How cool. I haven't been near a lock in a very long time. Reminds me of my childhood when we used to go to Marlow. Does anyone else find locks quite calming but also mildly terrifying at the same time? I'm quite scared of water. What's that? The duckets. Oh look, and there's a little cafe down there. Do you know what I mean? Like you're literally never more than 50 yards from some kind of oat latte. I am sheltering from the rain. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I might quickly pop into COS, but I'm gonna have to end the vlog here. Also because my phone battery's on 8% and I forgot my charger. I actually think I need to get one of those iPhone cases which has the charger built in. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I don't know, maybe it's inspired you to get up and go out and go for a walk. Even if you're on your own, it's absolutely fine. And the light is not loving me either. But anyway, yes, I'm gonna have a mooch around. If you wanna see any more of my videos, little tours and things like that, like I said, I have got a playlist. What is coming up? Make sure you're subscribed. Next week, oh, I think I'm going to the Prada Cafe at Harrods in next week's video. So if you're into that, we'll do a little bit of fashion. I'll throw in a bit of fashion here and there. Make sure you're subscribed for more exciting out and about videos. Makes you feel like you go on holiday just for a brief 20 minutes. I don't know. Sofa travel. What was it called again? Couch travel, sofa travel? Anyway, I keep forgetting. I will see you next Friday at 6 p.m. Bye guys.